fight. Kitano. Round one, fight. Melina. Round one, fight. Shang Tsung. Round one, fight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the long awaited 100th episode of MAME Politics. I am your host, Robbie Martin. Thank you for joining me tonight on this beautiful Thursday evening in Oakland, California, the United States. Michael Glavey. Thank you, Tom Collector, aka Tom Collector. What happened to your YouTube account? Did it get wiped? Did it get wiped in the purge? So let me do a little roll call of everybody since this show started as we have an intimate community now. So I'm gonna make sure I say hi to everybody. Hey, Catherine, good to see you. You were first. Hey, Arnaldo. Hey, Furious, our trusty mod. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Director Westfield, good to see you. Hey, Adam, how's it going, man? Hey, Patrick. Hey, Brock. Hey, No World Order. Hey, Bird. Hey, Riley. Hey, F. Nordino. Hey, who else is in here? Hey, Ned. Ned says he has a surprise for the 100th episode of Main Politics. Sorry, Ned, that I said it first. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. Maybe let's wait till the end of the episode to unveil that. Maybe that'll be fun, so that I can actually like feel like I have my bearings together to watch it. Because I have to be completely honest with you guys. Hey, Jenny, I don't know if I said hi to you yet. Hey, Modus, you too. Hey, I feel like I missed a couple other people. I missed Level, and I missed Steven. Hi, guys. Hi, Lanny. Hey, Jason. Thank you. Thank you for the congratulations. Um, so, yes, as Ned just mentioned, we do have a Discord, which is a way to continue the chat here 24/7 to your liking. The only rules I ask that you abide by is, like, no overt racism, sexism, the boilerplate stuff that's usually on any chat room these days. I'm not running a free speech experiment to see how vile people can be to each other. It's just a chat room where people are expected to just be nice people, like they are in here. So yeah, I'm really amped up actually to play my favorite game of all time, Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know if I have made this clear before on this channel, and you're probably wondering, why did I wait till episode 100 to play my favorite game of all time? Well, I wanted to save the best for not last, but for a special episode. Um, and Mortal Kombat 2 holds a special place in my heart. There are very few games that burned into my brain this much as a child. I can't really, maybe, I don't know really know if it's accurate to call myself a child. I was like 12, I think, when this game came out. I was in 7th grade. And I'll just tell you a little backstory really quickly about Mortal Kombat. Um, like my own experience with Mortal Kombat 2. Basically, Mortal Kombat 1 was a hugely influential game on me. It I had already seen the movie like Big Trouble in Little China when I was a kid, and so immediately when I saw Mortal Kombat and like Raiden and all that stuff, it just to me seemed like a really visceral game that was in the style of Big Trouble in Little China. Although I didn't make that connection directly as a kid, it just like really appealed to what I was aesthetically into at the time, which was like violent, like mystical martial arts, science fiction, horror, sort of all those things mixed together. I had no idea that Enter the Dragon. I didn't even really know who Bruce Lee was until like many years later. I didn't understand the inspiration from Enter the Dragon. None of that stuff factored into my mind. I just went to Big Trouble in Little China. So when I first played a match in Mortal Kombat 1, it wasn't like the hot arcade game that it was later became. When Mortal Kombat 1 first came out, it was kind of a slept on game for several months. I remember passing by it in the arcade, seeing it occasionally, and rarely anybody would be playing it. And you could usually almost always get on a machine and play by yourself. Um, And the first time I played Mortal Kombat 1, I remember, I think I chose Kano or Liu Kang. I don't remember which character I was, but I fought against Sonya on the courtyard, and she did the kiss of death fatality on me. And I just remember being like completely shocked as a kid, thinking it was the coolest thing ever. Probably before I had seen even a lot of real horror movies. And it just totally blew my mind. And so I started playing Mortal Kombat as much as I could, really mostly at first just to see all the fatalities and then to see all the special moves, because something about the special moves, even in Mortal Kombat, like that you could freeze the character, like Scorpion's spear, those seemed like they were different than like Street Fighter in a sort of a conceptual way. They seemed cooler, I guess, than Street Fighter. So I became obsessed with Mortal Kombat. I beat it a couple of times in the arcade as a kid. Wasn't easy to do. Definitely ate a shitload of quarters. And I fell in love with it. And of course, like all kids, I really desperately wanted a proper home port of Mortal Kombat. And some people might be offended by this, but the Genesis port of Mortal Kombat was garbage. And it had, even the blood in it was like terrible. So the Super Nintendo port was bad too, but in terms of just gameplay, I thought the Super Nintendo one actually felt better. But they were both bad. All of the home console ports of Mortal Kombat were bad. There was not a single good Mortal Kombat 1 console home port. So that was a big disappointment. But by the time I got a PC computer, I saw that they had released Mortal Kombat on disc. And from the looks of the back of the game box, I was like, oh shit, this looks really, really like just like the arcade. And it's actually a completely faithful translation of the arcade. It's interesting actually to play it now, because now that I've played Mortal Kombat 1 emulated on MAME and arcade for so long, it's definitely got some differences, noticeable. But when I played it at the time, like it was the arcade version to me. I was just like, I'll never even need to play the arcade again. This fucking rules. But, and you know, that's infamously during the time when Nintendo still had this like no blood, no violence rule. And that's why Mortal Kombat was censored. So people, you know, of course, really hyped up games that get as hyped up and as popular as Mortal Kombat 1 are going to be, people are going to be demanding a sequel or asking when the next one's going to come out. And everybody was asking that about Mortal Kombat. The buzz of Mortal Kombat 1 lasted for so long that what was remarkable is there was actually almost zero hype for Mortal Kombat 2. And by that, what I mean is there was zero marketing, there was zero teaser, there wasn't any information about it until that motherfucker landed in the goddamn arcades. And I know this because I was absolutely obsessed with Mortal Kombat as a kid. I mean, this is before the internet really was something you could find a lot of stuff on. I mean, it was like BBS days, AOL days. You might have been able to find a Mortal Kombat fact here and there. But in general, in terms of like video game news, press releases about incoming video games, all you had was looking at like Electronic Gaming Monthly or GamePro or something like that. And I remember in Electronic Gaming Monthly, there was a little section that would come in the issue that was like a card stock. And Tom Collector, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. If anybody in this chat knows what I'm talking about, it's going to be you. And I think he used to call himself the Quarterman. And he was sort of the insider, like I have the scoop on the inside track in the video game industry, and I know what's coming out before they release the press releases, before you're going to hear about it. And I remember he vaguely mentioned that Mortal Kombat 2 was planning to come out at a certain point. It was going to blow away the first one. Everyone was going to be blown away. And it was like, yeah, this is coming out. And that was all the information that anyone ever saw about Mortal Kombat 2. So fast forward maybe a year after this, I was walking through my local shopping mall with my parents. I think it was with my mom and dad. And I saw it out of the corner of my eye, the local arcade that we had in the shopping mall. It was it's sort of like in this shadowy corner. It was obviously dark, you know, it was an arcade from the mid 90s. And I remember out of the corner of my eye seeing very far away in the arcade, from the top of one of the arcade screens, the Mortal Kombat blood animation. I remember it catching the corner of my eye, and by this time I'd already, you know, gone through my Mortal Kombat phase. I had already played Mortal Kombat Genesis and Super Nintendo at my friend's house obsessively. You know, we argued about the blood in the Genesis version, how I thought it looked shitty, how my friend was okay with it. My friend, by the way, works for Activision now, doing like Call of Duty and shit that I'm talking about here. He's pretty high up in the company, actually. We don't hang out anymore. I haven't really spoken with him in a while, but it's just interesting that he went off to be big in the video game industry. But anyways, I saw this little blood animation in the corner of my eye pop up on the arcade machine, and I instantly registered that's Mortal Kombat. But I also instantly registered that's not a Mortal Kombat that I've seen before. And my brain fucking exploded. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is happening? So I remember just like, I probably just told my mom and dad, like, hey, I'm going to go check that out. Like, I didn't even have time to explain. I don't remember if I ran into the arcade or if I sped walked, but I definitely did not walk at normal speed because my heart was like fucking racing. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? As I got closer and closer to the arcade, I was maybe 5 foot from the doorway. And, you know, it was one of those like giant, where they roll down the door kind of doorways, big open doorway. And I was basically facing about 30 kids my age, mostly boys, face their backs facing a single arcade machine placed in the very center of the arcade. And my eye fucking saw it. The marquee said Mortal Kombat 2. And I was just like, what in God's name is happening? How did I not hear about this? How come there was no advertising for this? How come there was not even a promo poster for this? Like, what is happening? It was weirdly one of the only times in my life where I felt like my brain was broken in the most spectacular way possible. This childhood moment of discovering that Mortal Kombat 2 had basically been dropped like a Beyonce album with no marketing, complete surprise, and it still remains my favorite game of all time. I think from that moment on, that first very time I set my eyes on it, until now, it's still my favorite game. And it hasn't even like gotten close to being shaken off that pedestal. But I'll just tell you a little bit more about what I saw, because I want to describe in vivid detail. So what you're seeing now on the screen is what I first saw. This is what I saw, just to give you an example of how blown my mind was when I walked in there. So as I'm walking towards the arcade, and I'm hearing the sounds too. I can't really even see the screen at this point. I just see the blood flying up at the top. I see the life bars, and I'm like, that's Mortal Kombat. Like, what I'm like, I can't wait to see this shit. So I'm hearing like the sounds, and it's just like whoa, whoa, like the sounds of the people like screaming in the game were like already just like, I was just like, God damn it, this is it, man. So as I sort of wiggle my way through the crowd of people and get maybe like 3 or 4 people back from the screen, and I should say there are 2 people fighting, 2 children my age fighting on Mortal Kombat, and everybody else around them is like waiting to fight also. So this is actually the very first time I had ever seen what would become eventually a tradition in the arcades fighting games that really only lasted like 3 or 4 years in arcades. It's a very interesting sort of American cultural phenomenon where you could go and have extremely competitive, intense fighting matches all day long with other people in arcades that would just never end. There was a stack of quarters always on that arcade. Always someone was waiting to play. And there would be like reigning champions for the whole day. There would be some people who would play Mortal Kombat 2 all day long and never be defeated and just keep beating every kid, you know, that would line up. And then it would attract a crowd of people because of that winning streak. So as I'm walking up through this, little crowd of kids, I see basically the living forest background. I see that Reptile is a playable character in the game, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Reptile is a playable character? Wait, why would they put Reptile in the game? He's just going to be super imbalanced. He's going to throw free, he's going to be able to freeze you and spear you. Why would they do that? And then as soon as I'm thinking that, I see like Reptile shooting acid, and I'm just like, what? Throwing a force ball? Like the kid who was playing as Reptile already knew the goddamn moves on the first day the game landed in the arcades, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It's Reptile versus Kung Lao, and I'm just like, what is this? Dude has a hat that he throws, and then someone picked Katana in the second match, and her fan toss, like when it hits the guy, it's like there's more blood on the screen than like a Mortal Kombat 1 fatality, and I'm just like, okay, this is it. This is going to be my life. I'm going to dedicate my life for the next 6 to 8 months on learning everything about this game from top to bottom. And I am going to try to become the best person in this arcade at this game. I already had this idea in my head that if I played it enough, because I was there on the ground floor, because I was there on the first day that it came out and playing it, that I would somehow be better than anybody else. Of course, that turned out to be completely untrue. I did pretty terribly, actually, but it actually did get my fighting game chops into shape for eventually kind of being that on a couple of good days at Mortal Kombat 3. When I was eventually in high school, or like I think 8th grade high school, when Mortal Kombat 3 came out, I had played Mortal Kombat 2 so much in the arcade that I was actually able to compete by the time 3 came out, which felt pretty good, but it actually took, over a year of getting my ass kicked in MK2, essentially. Fred Savage's little bro from the Wizard. Michael Glavey, dude, the Kung Lao down the middle slice fatality is still unmatched to me. It is the best one. Well, it absolutely is, Michael. You're correct about that. There's no disputing that. And I think it's partly because they had each character actually do their original animations. Each character getting the fatality done on them does their own animation, and that's really, most of the fatalities don't have that, which is pretty cool. So basically, that was my experience. It sort of changed my life in the sense that I think that before that, if it wasn't for a game like Mortal Kombat 2 or even Doom, I probably would have pivoted away from video games probably for the rest of my life and fully exited from them, because I have never really gotten into like modern gaming, in the sense that like by the time like N64 and PS1 even came out, I was already sort of out of video games. But Mortal Kombat 2 and games like Doom and Magic Carpet sort of kept me in for, a little while longer, where I would still go to arcades. I would still, download weird PC games, stuff like that. Director Westfield, which Mortal Kombat are you good at that you say you're a button masher, but you're not terrible at MK? I would say that Mortal Kombat 3 might actually be the best one to do button mashing in, and without actually having to learn stuff. Like there are some really vicious dial-up combos in Mortal Kombat 3 that you can straight up button mash, and people will know what I'm talking about. Like the punch combos, some of the punch combos, like Shiva's. There's a couple other characters. Oh, even Cyrax's, his most devastating combo is just high punch and high kick button mash. You could just like literally just tap both buttons indiscriminately. You just have to start it on the punch. The other combos in Mortal Kombat, however, are actually, some of them are fairly difficult to pull off, especially in 3, like Liu Kang or Jax's dial-up combo. There's some weird combos where you have to like hold up during certain motions and stuff. Nice, Michael. We got to play each other sometime. We really do. I feel like at first I'll do really badly against you, and then like I'll start to like come back at you, and I might actually start beating you. It'll take me a few matches, but yeah. I also now have a really solid controller that I learned to be really good with at Mortal Kombat 3 and 2 emulation. So I feel pretty comfortable on it now. I had to transition away from a joystick because I had a Mortal Kombat machine, and I learned really to be really good at Mortal Kombat that way. MK2, MK3, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Michael, what's your favorite Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 ROM hack? I've been dabbling with a few of them, and my sense is that there really are no perfect ones. That there's things I like about certain ones, and there's things I don't like about them. I feel like they're not perfect. I want a ROM hack basically to make the stages cycle through like they do on MK3, but have all the unlocked characters from Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Juggernaut Edition. Okay. Juggernaut Edition. I'll have to check that out. I don't know what that... I haven't tried that one. I have Cup Edition, and I have one more that's just a CHD or NVRAM hack in MAME. I don't even think it's like a actual ROM hack. It's just like an NVRAM mod. You know what sucks the worst, though, Michael, is that it's not even... I mean, Mortal Kombat 4 never got a proper home port, and that kills me. Absolutely kills me. It's weird to me that no one lobbied to really get a proper home port done of Mortal Kombat 4. Because the MAME emulation, even without the problem that I was describing to you, it's still not the arcade. And I was reading discussions on the arcade forums about Mortal Kombat 4 that the Zeus hardware, in terms of the way Mortal Kombat 4 used it, it's missing a lot of stuff from the arcade. It's missing fog effects. It's missing a lot of lighting effects. It's missing some weird motion blur stuff that the arcade does. There's a lot of specific stuff in there that's for some reason MAME is just not caught up to yet. It's probably just because it wasn't hardware that was used on a whole lot of stuff. I don't even think Midway's The Grid is properly emulated yet, and I think that's like Ed Boon's last arcade game for them, even though it fucking sucks. Ed Boon really screwed the pooch with that one. That game is awful. If you've ever played The Grid, what sucks too is you think it's going to be good because it's supposed to be in the Smash TV universe, but it's not. Michael, you're a motherfucker, dude. Smart. That's my man right there. So, Michael, I'm going to stream actually on this channel. I'm going to try to get a Mortal Kombat 4 PCB board and stream it on this channel. So if you would like to help me figure that out, let me know. I mean, I essentially know what I have to do. I have to figure out a way to convert JAMA, the video signal to a television screen or an HDMI cable of some kind. I used to have a Supernova JAMA to TV converter thing. The colors were always messed up for me on that. So, but yeah, I would love to, Michael, because I also want to get a Hyper Neo Geo 64 system. I do. I want to get a Hyper Neo Geo 64 set. I only want to get a couple of the fighting games on it. I really don't give a shit about some like having the whole library. I think it's actually pretty rare, all of the games. But getting a Hyper Neo Geo 64 base system with the, Samurai Showdown. I mainly just want Samurai Showdown. Although the rail shooter that's on Hyper Neo Geo 64 seems like it emulates okay. The rest of them don't, though. So I don't know, guys. Should I do this? Should I go for it? me see how loud the sound is on here. Tell me if it's too loud, okay? I don't think you are, Ned.
Round one, fight.
Motherfucker. You can get cheap on some of the CPU settings of the computer on here and just sweep, kind of just sweep blast, sweep spam.
Finish him. Round one, fight.
Oh, I love the way they make Johnny Cage look in MK2 for some reason. I'm really fond of it. I like the way he looks a lot in MK1 as well.
Round two, fight.
Motherfucker, dude, the computer is always so good at throws. I'm trying to hold low kick to do the fatality.
Finish him. Fatality.
I forget what Raiden's other fatality is. Does he blow up your head? Can't remember. Fucker, dude. Kung Lao, son of a bitch, dude. Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Wins. Round two, fight.
Who doesn't look as good as MK3? Fuck you. Oh, dude. Son of a bitch. Kung Lao is great. Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat 3 is amazing. Especially when they added the jump in punch combo ability. His teleport is vicious with that. Shit, dude. Keep doing the same fucking mistake. Fuck. Ah! Ah. Oh, nice. Wait. The computer did the hat fatality, but didn't do it right. I've never actually seen them fuck it up like that before. That's weird. So that's a interesting. Kung Lao does the hat decapitation fatality, but he does it where you actually have to move the hat manually to like get it to hit the head.
Round one, fight.
Hold on, I gotta look up Jack's fatality. Forget it. Ah, shit, dude. Son of a bitch.
Wins. Round two, fight. Jax wins. Round 3, fight.
Shit. Dude. Fuck. Why do I keep fucking... Jesus Christ. How do I keep falling for that shit? Ah!
Wins.
I like go too slow.
Round 1, fight.
I got the head clap. That's what I was trying to do, Ned. I fucked it up. I should have just done the Deadpool fatality. Hold on, what's the stage fatality for Jax? Oh, block up, up, up. No kick. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Liu Kang wins.
I'm too distracted trying to look at fatalities. It's like a fucking idiot.
Fight. Outstanding. Gotcha.
Shit! Jesus Christ, dude.
Liu Kang wins. Fatality.
Well, now we've seen that stage fatality. I have to do it. Keep spamming the leg sweep. Yeah, that's one way to do it, but
Round 1, fight.
oh man, he can throw me. I hate how the computer has that magic throwing ability. It's so frustrating. It's like that on MK2 also. Please stop jumping back.
Round 2, fight.
It's funny how the computer almost never jumps unless it's dodging something. It makes it...
Johnny Cage wins. Round 3, fight.
Ah.
Finish him.
I need to look up his
Wins.
Johnny Cage MK2 fatality.
Round 1, fight.
Oh man.
Reptile wins.
Down, down, forward, forward, high punch.
2, fight.
Jesus.
Finish him. Reptile wins.
I have to admit, one of the worst parts about Mortal Kombat 2 is it is one of the best two-player fighting games,
Johnny
but also one of the most frustrating games to play against the CPU.
Round 1, fight.
The CPU is just too good at doing certain things, and it just doesn't create enough opportunities for sort of varied gameplay, but unfortunately you can sort of trick it by spamming certain things and just sort of doing cheap things like sweep. There's a sweep trick that seems to get the computer stuck in a cycle.
Johnny Cage wins. Round 2, fight. Finish him.
Ah, shit, I didn't do it in time. That one is Down, down, forward, forward, high punch. Okay.
Round 1, fight.
Son of a bitch. Timing, bad timing.
Wins. Round 2.
So I don't know if you guys saw from my thing, I am going to play Fightcade on here, which is definitely going to be more interesting. Not that I'm going to do any better, but the players are just going to be actually doing cool shit instead of just like stalking me and fucking like this dude is doing. Jesus Christ. It's like scary the way they just sort of walk towards you. God damn it!
Wins. Kitano. Round 1, fight.
Oh, you son of a bitch. What is her? Can somebody look up her stage fatality for me? I think it's I think her stage fatality is. I want to say it's forward down forward block.
Fight.
But I'm not sure.
Kitano wins. Round 3, fight.
Jesus. Son of a bitch. Ah.
Finish him. Kitano.
I couldn't remember
Fatality.
her stage fatality. Oh, cool.
Round 1,
Here it is.
fight.
Ah! Shit! Ah! I basically just can't jump back. I have a habit of doing that when I play. Can't do it at all with the goddamn CPU.
Round 2, fight.
Shit, dude! Did it again. Shit.
Jax wins.
I did see that. I did see that, Furious. It's very interesting. I mean, I think the only way to do a proper Mortal Kombat movie would be to like tonally make it almost just kind of like a dark comedy horror of some kind. Almost like in the same way that like Big Trouble in Little China is. It can't just be a genuinely trash movie like Mortal Kombat 2. I mean, Mortal Kombat 2, the movie Annihilation, was like the worst. No, you cannot uppercut them into the portal, Ned. No. No, you cannot. I'll give it another try. Let's start from a 0.
Scorpion. Round 1, fight.
how you can't fucking... That's one of the more annoying things about that move is that you can't actually get out of the corner if you're trapped in it. I love the weird cheesy 90s weird material they're using for Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They're using like a weird like padded material for their clothing that you would see in like almost looks like a weird I don't even know what you would. It's one of the only graphical flaws that's bothered me always about Mortal Kombat 2 is how the bones do not stay animated.
Round 1, fight.
Might as well just spam as much as I can. Yeah, it does look like an oven mitt. It is kind of like a similar material. It's so cheeseball, and it's like part of the reason I love the aesthetic of this game. That's why I don't love even the new character designs like of the new Mortal Kombat games. They're just like too, I don't know, they're like
Finish him. Scorpion wins. Fatality.
awesome. The only time I did that with Mortal Kombat was with Mortal Kombat 3.
Fight.
That game to me is the easiest one, arcade to beat, actually. Mortal Kombat 2, I actually find more difficult to beat even on the easiest setting than Mortal Kombat 1 or 3. But maybe other people fare differently. Shao Kahn on Mortal Kombat 2 is way harder than Shao Kahn on 3.
Scorpion wins. Round 2, fight.
Ah, fuck.
Lau wins. Round 3, fight. Outstanding.
Son of a bitch. Dude.
Finish him.
What got me on the spikes?
Fatality.
So, politics, eh? What's going on? What's going on politically that you guys are interested in right now? I figured this was just going to be a video game episode, but I'm down to talk politics as well.
Round 1, fight.
That's so cool that you can sometimes counter. Scorpion's air throw is generally not good in a 2-player match. Sometimes works pretty good against a computer, which is weird, unexpected. Jax's backbreaker is also really satisfying. I think they only added that into the last revision of Mortal Kombat, or one of the last revisions of 2. So it sort of appeared in this as in the arcade as a surprise. Like people were sort of discovered it by surprise. They're like, "What?" Oh, down, forward. Oh, so okay. Hold high punch, down, forward, forward, forward. Oh, okay, yeah. Now I remember that one. You son of a bitch. The computer never jumps, dude. It's so weird. The computer never jumps. Never. It just stalks you across the screen.
Round 2, fight.
They should at least change it up a little bit, like different types of CPU gameplay style. I'm just complaining about the CPU because I'm doing so badly. Shit, dude. Oh my god. embarrassing. Fuck. I got absolutely obliterated. Holy shit.
Round 1, fight.
God damn you, Liu Kang, motherfucker, dude.
Fight.
It's like I think I'm gonna fake out the computer by doing that. That's me fooling myself. The computer knows exactly what's up. It seems like the computer is programmed to let me do like a certain percentage of special moves on it that it won't block, but like most of the time it automatically blocks almost everything I do. Like it doesn't even matter what the timing is. It's just interesting how... Oh, you son of a bitch. I shouldn't have done that. Bad idea. Bad idea. Oh, at least I'm Kung Lao again. To brush up on my Kung Lao chops. Oh man, I got too close to him. Son of a bitch, dude. Ah!
Wins. Round 2, fight.
Seems like regular jump kicks,
Round 3, fight.
not backwards one. Shit. See, that's weird that that works. I don't like that that's a CPU flaw. Almost. It's kind of like... So I feel like I can... Shit!
Finish him.
That's for you, Tom. Hey, John, how's it going? Good to see you. I didn't see you in the chat. Good to see you, man.
Round 1, fight.
Oh, I forgot he has this. It's never going to work on the computer, though. I can guarantee you that right now. Ah!
Reptile wins. Round 2, fight.
Oh, it's weird how little life that takes off.
Wins. Round 3, fight.
He actually jumped. I'm shocked. It's so weird. Shit, I forgot the pit fatality for him. Or I should say the stage fatality, as they call it. Okay. Have it loaded up now.
Round 1, fight.
Jesus. Whew.
America wins.
You fucked me up.
Round 2, fight.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, it seems like... Oh, are you kidding me? It seems like regular moves, sometimes the computer doesn't block as much as special moves, which is bizarre.
Freedom. Round 1, fight.
Oh, no. Oh. No, that's nice. That's nice that works.
Fight.
He's got me in the corner. I'm fucked. Okay.
Wins. Round 3, fight.
Ah. I forgot that was what his fatality was. He just uppercuts you and you explode. That's pretty good. I like that and get on board with that.
Fight.
Jax is a motherfucker, dude. Jesus Christ, dude. Jax, you son of a bitch, dude. Son of a motherfucker.
Round 2, fight.
God, they always know to throw the projectile at the right time. It's fucking crazy. Son of a bitch.
Freedom wins. Round 3, fight.
Son of a bitch, dude. Ah. Holy fuck. That was brutal.
Jax wins.
Took what first?
Fatality.
Oh, I need to shoot the vaccine on the air. Do you guys want me to hire one of those nurses to do that PR stunt where I take the vaccine, take a syringe full of air into my arm? That'd be pretty weird, right?
Reptile.
I will live stream me taking the vaccine just so you guys can know it's safe, okay?
Fight.
I'm surprised that worked at all. The fuck? Does Reptile's projectile actually fucking psych out the fucking opponent?
Reptile.
That's really surprising.
wins. Round 2, fight.
Ah!
Jax.
Sorry, I'm distracted. I gotta get the stage fatalities.
Fight. Finish him. Reptile wins. Fatality.
I don't remember Reptile being this good against the computer.
Round 1, fight.
Katana's gonna be a motherfucker though, for sure. No doubt about that. God. It's definitely one of my weaknesses, is playing the computer in the fucking corner of the screen, for fuck's sake.
Kitana wins.
My God.
Round 2, fight.
Oh, god damn, I can't even jump at her at all. It's like Baraka.
Finish him.
Her speed is just too much. I gotta... Let's see, what's that?
Kitana wins. Fatality.
Who should I play against Katana?
Johnny Cage.
He might be good, actually. He might be a good... Well, he can't do the ball punch, though. Jesus Christ! Flawless victory, dude.
Fight.
Son of a bitch. Oh, I can't throw them from that distance. It's got to be like the perfect distance.
Finish him.
Yeah, there's a whole exact... This motherfucker. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe Liu Kang will do okay against her.
Round.
Doubtful, but I'm gonna try. Ah, son of a bitch. Sometimes that works too. It's almost like you got to do it kind of at the perfect time, I think. It's a weird thing that tricks the computer. But if she dodges it, you got to like almost... Okay, there it is. Ah, shit. Dragon Fatality. Someone told me the Dragon Fatality with Liu Kang. I forgot it. Jesus. Oh, that was weird. Shit! Down forward, back, high kick. Oh. Oh my god, she's destroying me, dude. That was dumb. I could have gotten her with that. Should not have jumped. All right. I accepted the challenge. I am gonna try to beat the game. Although I don't think I'm gonna succeed, but I'm gonna try.
Round 1, fight.
Shit, motherfucker.
Wins. Round 2, fight. Finish him. Melina wins. Fatality.
You know, so it's more effective with certain characters. It's more effective with the sprites that have a longer distance. So, like Melina, for example, her sweep is really good
Round 1, fight.
against a computer, especially.
Melina wins. Round 2, fight.
No, John, Street Fighter 2 was actually the first game with that, where the screen moved sort of quasi 3D, or at least the bottom of the screen did.
Melina wins. Round 3, fight.
Ah, you son of a bitch, dude. What? That totally should have connected. That's so weird.
Finish her. Melina wins.
Luis Felipe, you can do it in there's a game called Mortal Kombat Project that actually lets you select pretty much every character that's ever been in any Mortal Kombat game, including those guys in the background. It's pretty cool.
Melina wins. Round 2, fight. Finish him.
What?
Melina
That was weird. She started doing her victory pose before I. Like the timing seemed weird on that. Oh, weird. Check it out.
Round 1, fight.
Oh, that was
Melina wins.
surprisingly.
Round 2, fight.
Son of a bitch.
Melina wins. Round 3, fight.
Dude, she's so fucking quick. It's insane. Oh my god. Holy fuck.
Melina
Crazy.
wins. Fatality.
Woo.
Liu Kang. Round 1, fight. Kang wins. Round 2, fight. Finish her.
Oh man.
Kang wins.
Okay, so his down forward back high kick. Down forward back high kick.
Round 1, fight. Outstanding. Wins. Round 2, fight. Finish him. Wins.
Takes me a little bit to remember like the computer. I mean, I admittedly did practice playing this game before I did this stream,
Fight.
but I am very, very rusty. It's I'm trying to get back to my Mortal Kombat roots, though, as you can see. But yeah, the computer CPU definitely has some weaknesses. The Liu Kang bicycle kick is one interesting one. Ah, I just gotta remember to fucking block. I just gotta remember to block, guys.
Fight.
Son of a bitch, he fucking mangled me. Fuck! He fucked me up.
Wins. Scorpion. Round 1, fight.
Oh, you son of a bitch, dude. You see that? He fucking...
Round 2, fight.
You can pretty much never get him with a fucking projectile. It's nuts how little it works. Oh wow, I'm surprised I canceled that shit out. My air throw. Fuck, dude, he's fucking vicious. The throwing is so... What? I totally didn't mean to do that, and I forgot Scorpion had that move, guys. I am sorry. That was crazy. I forgot he had the leg takedown move. Don't blame me for that. It's a weird move that no one hardly ever uses in the game. Oh god, I should have known not to do that shit. No.
Finish him. Scorpion.
I'll try.
Fatality.
We're gonna try not to let it happen again. Is it?
Round 1.
It's illegal in judo? You tried judo on Shang Tsung. He's not biting the guys. Shang Tsung's not taking it. Taking the leg takedown. Motherfucker, Shang Tsung. You son of a bitch, dude. How come I can't fucking teleport on the other side of him? Well, I guess I did and failed, so.
2, fight.
Whoa, that was weird. Wow. He does not like me to jump kick him. Okay.
Finish him.
Wow.
Shang Tsung.
That was vicious. Vicious. I somehow haven't gotten Baraka yet. I feel like Baraka is actually really good against a computer.
1, fight.
I say that now, but
Wins. Round 2, fight.
Gotta get cheap, guys. Sorry. Now I'm just now I just want to beat the game. Get fucking cheap.
Finish him.
Fuck you.
Baraka wins. Flawless victory.
All right.
Round
We're here.
fight.
We're here. Oh shit, he can throw me through that. I forgot that shit. Holy shit, dude. Kentaro, you motherfuck, dude. You son of a bitch, Kentaro.
Kintaro
Son of a bitch.
wins. 2, fight.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. Jesus, you can throw me right through that goddamn shit. Oh, you son of a fucking cunt. Oh, you motherfuck. Kentaro, you son of a bitch. Who's good at fighting Kentaro? Who can take out Kentaro? Who's got a cheap
Round 1, fight.
Ooh, he just pulls me right out of the fucking... Fuck, dude. Oof. Kentaro, you bastard.
Kintaro
Wow. Sub-Zero. Yeah, that is a good idea. I feel like I remember doing well against him with Sub-Zero. Ooh. Kentaro, goddamn you. Okay, this is my first non-random select. I'm going for it.
Round 1, fight.
Oh my godness. Oh, that doesn't work on him. It's just the regular freeze.
Round 2, fight.
Oh, bad idea. Oh, his reach. His reach. Holy fuck. Katana's also pretty decent on him, from what I remember.
Round 1, fight.
Oh man, are you kidding me? Okay, so I do remember her basic combo is pretty effective against him. He walks into it, seems to walk into it a lot. Oh shit. Oh shit. Ah! That was harsh. Okay. I'm gonna try again with her. I'm gonna clean up Kentaro's clock right now. Clean up. Jesus Christ, no way. That's fucked. Absolutely fucked.
Round 2, fight.
Nope. Just gotta be more careful. Very, very strategic. Okay, I'm gonna try her again. I also have to go pee like really bad right now, so I can't figure out how to pause MAME. The key is set wrong, unfortunately. So. Ah. I do have a bottle of pee off screen. I already got that. The times I pee are when I'm not peeing in the bottle off screen. Ah! Shit, I missed it again. Fuck you, you idiot. You keep jumping into me like that. You need to fuck, dude. Do it. Do it. Oh no, dude, that'd be funny if I lost this one. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
You will die.
Well, Shao Kahn is way smaller looking on this one than MK3. Interesting. I've just been playing MK3 and his sprite is definitely smaller than this motherfucker. I mean bigger. This dude's a tiny Shao Kahn. Fuck you, dude. Ha! Fuck.
You are nothing.
I guess Katana's the cheap way to beat Shao Kahn. I mean, maybe I remember this in the arcade, but I kind of don't. Dead, dude. Boom. Okay, gotta go pee. Watch the ending. Mortal Kombat! I bet you didn't know Katana looked like that, did you? Bet you didn't know that shit. Why are you retracting so many messages, Worldist? What are you saying? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hire Carlos and Daniel Pacina to make my own. You know how Bloodstained Curse of the Night is basically just like Castlevania, but it's almost like better? I'm going to make my own digitized fighting game, and I'm going to hire Carlos and Daniel Pacina. I have decided. I'm announcing it right now. Because this shit needs to be done. Somebody needs to make not a fan Mortal Kombat clone or sequel, but someone just needs to make a game in the spirit of Mortal Kombat that it's basically like the Mortal Kombat 5 that we always dreamed of. We need it. We need it now. We need it. We need a Mortal Kombat 5 that has like the most insane juggle combos you have ever seen in any game in your life. Wow, it has a Revolution X ad at the end? That's amazing. That I fucking never remembered from Mortal Kombat 2. So, we actually managed to beat a game today, which is pretty cool. And I've already been on for almost an hour and a half. That's pretty funny. I already played a Mortal Kombat Project on the stream, which is awfully cool. It's a really good Mugen clone of the engine of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Nice. Michael, is this the last revision of Mortal Kombat 2? Some interesting tidbits about the earlier revisions of Mortal Kombat 2. The very first version of Mortal Kombat 2, or maybe it was the second version, where they put in babalities, you could actually hurt the baby. You could go and basically kick the baby off screen after you turn it into a baby, and they immediately changed it. I don't know what... It almost doesn't seem like it was left in intentionally, but actually I'd have to play that revision again to know for sure. I can't quite remember, but there are definitely some other weird things about the revision that got changed. I mean, I know they added the Shang Tsung third fatality. They added the Deadpool fatality around the same revision, I believe. Which must have been quite as come of. I mean, I remember for me it was quite a shock. It was like I was already like super into Mortal Kombat 2 at that time, and then all of a sudden they added like new fatalities to the game, and I remember just being very surprised by that. And there was always a rumored third Baraka fatality that was like very prominently talked about in arcades, but no one ever did it or saw it, and it ultimately doesn't exist. It's long been rumored that there are other secrets still in Mortal Kombat 2 that people haven't discovered, but I doubt it. Mortal Kombat sort of ushered in the sort of 90s era of game secrets being like a really cool thing. I mean, they were already a thing before that, but like the idea of like things or hints or secrets was like a really big deal when it came to Mortal Kombat 2, to the point where when Mortal Kombat 3 started to be advertised, the advertising for it was like extremely cryptic, and they would show these little symbols, and they basically had a code symbol system built into the versus screen because of how much, you know, love people had for that aspect of Mortal Kombat. But you know what? I'm gonna hop over to a Fightcade right now. And I'm going to just sort of hang out in there until someone challenges me to a match in Mortal Kombat. Oh, there's a lot of people in here right now. Okay, I'm just going to hang back in here. And if someone does challenge me to a match, I will I'll join up. This is an out-of-date emulator. It's called it's either called the FBA or FPA emulator. It's not the newest version of MAME. It doesn't run perfectly. It's got a lot of issues. But one of the cool things about Fightcade and the games that are available in it is that there's a lot of people that are always interested in playing. And what's also cool is you can do beat 'em up games. not just fighting games. You can play other types of two-player games, shoot 'em ups, different kinds of games that have two players, and they're all arcade games as well, which is pretty neat. So I'm actually going to try to use this a little bit more moving forward. So if like I play a beat 'em up game without Lori or without a second player, for example, I'm going to try to load up online games more, because they're pretty cool. And now that I understand how they work and how to do them, I'd like to see someone fight CIA Pete in a wine cave. That would be hilarious, to make a presidential candidates like Democratic primary fighting game that was just really violent. Unfortunately, people would be like, "That's inspired by Celebrity Deathmatch. That sucks." Or that's like a copy, but like Celebrity Deathmatch is just like a copy of like Mortal Kombat, and like, I mean, it's I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, but somebody should just make a fighting game like that. I would play the shit out of that. Absolutely would play that shit. So, politically, what's on your guys' radar today? Because I'm personally really intrigued by these rumors that Trump may be considering a pardon for Assange. Now, of course, I take the point of view that I will celebrate it and, you know, be excited about it if it happens. But this idea that it's somehow going to happen, or Trump is the only president who would be willing to do this, and all this weird rhetoric we're hearing right now is just odd to me. It is odd that a QAnon pastor was the first one to get that newest version of that rumor to go the most viral, and Edward Snowden retweeted that. A bunch of people on the left fell for that. I guess they didn't see that it was a QAnon pastor, which is weird that went so viral. I don't know how that went viral. I'm assuming it's because it's Edward Snowden tweeted it, which I think is very irresponsible. But like I was saying on Twitter, Edward Snowden seems to be just into promoting and retweeting anyone who's talking about pardoning Snowden. But if you look at his timeline for the past few days, he's retweeting people like Ian Miles Chong and weird far right, like essentially like Nazi adjacent characters who are all of a sudden saying they want to pardon Snowden. It's a strange thing, but I can understand it. If Edward Snowden is, you know, desperate for his freedom and wants to come home, I could see why he'd want to amplify that cause as much as possible. It does seem a little unnecessary to me to retweet someone like Ian Miles Chong, but I think the strategy that they're employing is sort of like, let's get the right to buy into the idea of pardoning Assange and Snowden so that Trump can feel safe to pardon them. That seems like a strange strategy. I'm not sure it's necessary. Trump's not going to get really any fallout from his base on pardoning Assange or Snowden. That's not going to lose Trump any more standing than any of the other wacky shit he's done that he's gotten his followers to go along with. His followers will go along with anything that he wants. Oh, wow. I've been challenged. Guys. I think I'm going to accept it. I'm going to accept it. I'm nervous, though. I'm really nervous about this. I'm hella nervous. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Okay. This is my first online match on a stream. I'm going to do so bad. Okay, so the sound is fucked up. So that's one thing you're going to have to know. Let's try this out. Wow. Wow. Surprised I'm doing so well. This guy either has a lot of lag or he's not very good. Because you just saw how rusty I played. Surprisingly well against him, which is not expected. shouldn't have spoken so soon. He seems pretty good, actually. He's got good, decent chops. I think he was trying to counter me every time with the kick. See how fast these motherfuckers... They're all doing random select. Like me, of course. That's the pro way to play Mortal Kombat 2. Try to play invisible against me, motherfucker. I play invisible all the time. I know how that shit works. I feel like he's not playing very good. So I either encountered someone who's not good. I don't know. I'm slightly disappointed because the last person I played on here was destroying the absolute living fuck out of me. Maybe this guy will have a little comeback. Let's see. This is a real person. This is a real person in... His name is Extracto. I'm assuming by his name he's probably in Latin America. It seems like all the Mortal Kombat 2 players are in Latin America that I'm finding, which is pretty neat. I'm cheaping him out like the CPU does. It's pretty funny. What? Why did he jump into that? Flawless victory, motherfucker! Oh! Oh, that was close. No, this guy won't make me want to place a bet with me. He's gonna get destroyed, dude. I'm the fucking champion, dude. I'm the champ, dude. Check that out. Countered his fucking... Shit's on, dude. Try it, motherfucker. Ha 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 ha. I feel like I've played against a lot of players like this in the arcade, and I know kind of the system he uses a little bit. Just intuitively. His method of countering and waiting and stuff like that. See, he kind of almost plays a little bit like me. I feel like he's just not as good as me. Yep. Oh, he caught me that time. Oh, he got me. He fucking got me. Okay. So I feel like he's kind of getting... Maybe he was rusty and he's kind of getting better. I think he's going to turn this around here. That's my thoughts. A lot of people try to do the uppercut countering of a jump kick, but it's actually very hard to pull off online. It's almost impossible. You kind of basically have to know your lag extremely well. I never try it on I've never tried it on an online Mortal Kombat match before. The roundhouse kick, I think, is a better idea. Oh, he did it. He did the CPU trick on it. That's pretty funny. Oh, he's pretty good at jump kick timing though, for sure. Oh man, he got me. Yep. No, this guy's making a little comeback. He's a decent player, for sure. The first time I played Mortal Kombat online, I was so nervous. I got like so fucking like hyped about it. Oh, nice. That must have been fucking embarrassing. Oh, he's getting me with the slides though. And the throws. The flash ball is such a slow move. You have to do it so strategically. See, he's trying to do the uppercut. I don't know why he's trying to do that. I would never attempt that on an online game, like I was saying. Sitting there not blocking like that and preparing to do an uppercut, very, very hard to do, the timing. It's one of the harder things to get exactly right, even in regular real-time play, offline. See, I just tried to do it to him. Totally failed. You see the uppercut counter I tried to do? And just so people know, Mortal Kombat fans for some reason collectively have called that character in the background Hornbuckle, even though there's no like official anything about him. It's like a Liu Kang with green pants, and the other guy's name is Blaze, I guess. See, he's almost like copying my playstyle a little bit. This is something that happens with Mortal Kombat, is you almost have to learn the other person's playstyle. It's different from games like Street Fighter. So it's like it took him a little bit to figure out my playstyle. And I think once he did, he's way better than when he first started. And by figuring out my playstyle, I mean basically just figuring out my weaknesses. Like how I like to jump in, jump kick. It's funny too how you can see him even on online play doing like forward. You can see him sort of jutting forward doing the moves. It's always a dead giveaway. Sometimes just based on what buttons people are pressing, you can see what special moves they're trying to do. Like if he's throwing a high kick just randomly in the air, you know, that means he's probably trying to do the ball like that. Cool. Seems like we're pretty evenly matched, which is nice. Man, this is a lot of fun. I have to admit I'm having a lot of fun playing online dead, motherfucker. Try it, motherfucker. Try it, dude. Ah. My first flawless on this little bastard. It's almost like honor system to do random select. Because if you just keep playing the same character you're good at, it's considered cheap. It's always like Mortal Kombat etiquette. I just want to do the leg grab on him. I just so badly want to do it. Oh, he got me. Oh, that's the corner combo is the word. You can actually finish that with an uppercut too in the corner. It's pretty brutal. Jesus, he fucked me up right there, dude. What? Nice. He got that perfect. He got that down. He got that. The counter uppercut. He's already gotten 2 of those. I haven't managed to pull one of them off yet. Oh, I did it. It was my first one, and he fucking missed his. Oh, he missed his, and I almost got him. Ah. He's better at, he knows the timing on some of the jump kicks better than I do at points, I notice. I feel like if he's preparing for them, he definitely does a better job countering than I do, sometimes. I definitely got some stuff to learn from this guy. Some of his timing is interesting. Oh, he got me. I'm going to chat with him really quick. How do I chat with him? Is there a way to chat? I don't know how to chat. I was going to thank him for playing. I don't know if you know what is gaming etiquette for this kind of thing. He wants me to keep playing. He just put more credits in. See, look at him. This dude wants me to keep playing his ass. And I don't even know how to talk to him. I feel bad. Well, somebody can figure out how I can actually, like, say hi. We'll just watch him play. That's kind of cool. So maybe towards the end of this, I'll jump back in. Yeah, I mean, just back to that subject I was bringing up really quick. What do you guys think that Trump is doing? Do you think that he is responsible for floating some of these media narratives out there that he wants to pardon Assange? Like, what do you think who do you think is putting them out there? Because now Tucker brings on Assange's fiance and he tells her live on the air that he knows that Trump probably wants to. That's like how he phrased it. He's like, yeah, I know that the president probably wants to. So let's hope that happens or something. He said to her like at the end of the interview. Now, it's just so weird because it's like Trump has sort of become as dumb and as crazy and sloppy as he is sort of Machiavellianly smart in the sense that you can have these different people like Tucker sort of floating these trial balloons or even acting like they're his voice at times in a weird way. And I just find that fascinating. So it's like James O'Keefe, Project Veritas leaks a recording of Julian Assange that appears to be him, well, it is him, dealing with someone from the U.S. State Department. Basically telling them that leaks are imminent and that there was a defector from Wikileaks who's going to release everything unredacted, and he's warning them. Now, James O'Keefe actually had this leaked audio tape that appears to have come from James O'Keefe's side. Now that means to me a few things. That means that it wasn't recorded by the U.S. State Department. Another thing that it means is that it was recorded on Julian Assange's end of the phone call, which is interesting to think that people representing Assange or sort of, oh no, he already left. Oh, bummer. That people representing Assange are sending leaks like that to Project Veritas. That's strange to me. Why would they give it to someone like him? Now, the only explanation I can think of why Assange's people would give access to James O'Keefe of something like that, some kind of scoop like that, is because Assange's people also are sort of trying to lobby, I guess, either the Trump base or Trump world for some kind of pardon. It just seems, I don't quite understand it. It's odd. It's very odd. And like I said from the beginning, I'm not going to believe it until I see it, until it happens. Now, let's just kind of go back a little bit and think, now if Obama, let's say if Obama surrogates, like random neo-lib people who loved Obama were like hearing rumors that Obama's going to pardon Chelsea Manning, like let's all placate his ego and beg Obama, please Obama, pardon Chelsea Manning. That would have seemed weird to me too. The way Obama did it, I thought was optically probably the best way to do it, which is to just do it suddenly so that whatever fallout you're going to get from it only can happen after the fact. So it's like a shock and maybe even hide that or hold it close to your chest. I don't know how Obama decided to do that, but it did seem like that was strategically probably the best way to do it. So something about this just seems odd to me, like it's more of Trump wanting the credit for something that he's not actually doing, or people wanting to give Trump credit for something that he's not actually done yet. And I just find that whole mindset so absolutely goddamn bizarre. I have never done that with any president, never with any administration. And I'm just shocked at how many people, especially even on the left, that I see that continue to do it with Trump, sort of like this groveling posturing. I can understand it if there's a legitimate belief or information out there that somehow Trump might pardon Assange and that maybe lobbying him would tip him into doing that. I just don't think there's any real evidence to suggest that's the case. That's what's so strange to me about it. And I got into it on Twitter with some guy that I've been getting into it with for like the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years on Twitter. He's one of these Israel did 9/11 guys. But it's interesting. He sort of elucidated something that I think a lot of people in conspiracy world, why they sort of fail and falter, because of their certainty that certain things are a certain way. And what I mean is, I guess he's inferred some of my tweets about Assange and leveling criticisms about him, or different aspects of how I think WikiLeaks has lied over the years or created cover stories for various reasons. Seemingly he's inferred that as me being afraid to call Assange a straight up CIA agent, I guess in some way because I'm afraid of ruining my career or something like. And I just find that mindset very interesting because I can't imagine ever getting to the point where I would think Assange was like a CIA plant. My thinking has never gone that far. And if I really felt that, I would say it. So it's just weird to me. It's like there's certain people who get to this really extreme place where it's like, well, obviously Assange is CIA or something. So why don't you just say it? Fucking say it, dude. Say he's CIA. It's like, but I don't think that. I just have, I guess, maybe compared to you, something that would seem like a nuanced view that is a lot more complicated than some kind of soundbite to say he is a CIA plan. And then someone else sort of interacted with me about the same subject, and they said, well, do you think WikiLeaks is a limited hangout? And I said, my answer was yes and no. I don't think that it is 100% some kind of limited hangout operation that is like being run by intelligence agencies. I think what's more likely is that WikiLeaks has had limited hangouts run through its apparatus. And I think that that's pretty easy to understand why there's a difference between the two. So I guess I just, I can understand being so paranoid and so distrusting of everything that you automatically assume everyone is a plant. But to assume that that's the most like purest, or that's the view that you should hold if you're real, if you're really speaking the truth, it's just such a weird mindset because it's babyish. It's just kind of immature and sad to me that people, even some more of the smarter people in conspiracy world have that kind of dogmatic take on things. There's been some other people in that same sect of the Twitter world that I'm referring to who have long believed that that Assange comes from that LSD brainwashing cult, and that's somehow proof that he is CIA, because the CIA also did MK Ultra with psychedelics, and taking all these leaps. And as someone who's been in conspiracy world for a long time, I'm just thinking this is not a sound theory. It's not sound. I have looked into the LSD cult thing with Assange, and it just doesn't actually add up. So I don't know, man. It's like, it seems like no matter how you slice it, you can't just speak honestly about WikiLeaks. That's basically what I'm saying. It's like everybody has a problem with you speaking your honest feelings about WikiLeaks. Either people think you're piling on and you think Assange worked with the Russians, or you think he's a rapist, or it's really none of that stuff. It's just that as an organization, they've made a lot of fuck ups and done a lot of weird things over the years that should be questioned. You know, just like we did on our podcast recently, we let out a lot of dirty laundry that I don't even think a lot of people are ready to hear about. Daniel Ellsberg, for example, that was via Doug Valentine on our podcast. And I think what's important in doing that is you can hold two thoughts at the same time. You can believe that WikiLeaks has done good. You can believe that Assange isn't a government plant, and still believe that they've fucked up, and probably that people in the government have tricked them into doing various things and have worked Assange at various times. It's both of them are very possible. And I don't always agree with John Young of Cryptome, because he's gone into a sort of a weird place. He's kind of a Russiagator now. But he did make a good point about Assange. He said that this whole debate that people are having about, is Assange a journalist or not? He is a journalist, etc. It's sort of a disingenuous argument, because journalism, WikiLeaks was always designed to do things that journalists were not willing to do. That's kind of the point. So for now, Assange and WikiLeaks to use that, not just as their legal defense, but as like a symbolic thing, like he is a journalist, treat him the same way. I don't look at it that way. I think from a legal standpoint and a civil liberties standpoint, it's very important to see where those lines are. But I just don't, it's kind of like, I guess I just don't subscribe to a lot of these weird paradigms that a lot of these activists just parrot from other people. I tend to avoid them and reject them, including the dogmatic conspiracy ones. And I think John Gold actually has taught me well in doing that. It's like, it's almost the hardest thing to do is to pull yourself away from certain conspiracy narratives that you're very, very, very dedicated to believing. And I don't just mean conspiracy narratives. I mean, there's just any belief you affirm very strongly, any belief that you hold really, really strongly in your heart and in your brain. So yeah, I mean, I think I had to learn how to do that with conspiracy stuff. Admitting you don't know is the best thing you could do, says John. That's a stance that more people need to have, is admitting that you are not the master private eye who solved the case. You know? So that's, I guess it's just, anyways, I kind of went off on a tangent. But I guess what I'm saying is that why would anyone badger someone else for not being as conspiratorial as they are if they're already like almost where you are? So like if you already think 9/11 was some kind of inside job and everything's really fucked up about it, and you think the Bush administration was probably involved, but you don't think the buildings were blown up, and someone's going to get mad at you for that and be like, you're not real, you're a fucking shill, you're afraid to speak the truth because you're worried about your career. It's just the dumbest shit ever. And John Gold is a perfect example of someone in this chat who stood firm in what he believed. He didn't go along with the consensus of 9/11 truth. He didn't just go and glom onto all the theories that were the most trendy. He stuck in his position and stayed there and just sort of weathered the storm. And I really don't think the majority of the population is interested in doing that. They just want to have fun. It's got to be pleasurable. It's got to mean something. It can't be a hard slog where you actually like do the legwork of legitimately researching things without a foregone conclusion. You can have a gut feeling about things. Like I have a lot of gut feelings about 9/11 and the anthrax attacks. But, I still have to do the work to research things to really prove some of these theories to myself. Like when it comes to the Rudy Giuliani stuff and anthrax, there's still a lot of work to do. There's years of work required to actually crack that open. This is the problem. These things need like teams of dedicated journalists who have a budget, who have travel budget, who can talk to people, who can even use social engineering schools to trick people into talking to them. These are skills I don't even have. Like I'm horrible at doing like a Sacha Baron Cohen style thing where I, fool someone into talking to me. I don't have those kind of skills at all. Steven Sturd, maybe I will. That's a good idea. Steven Sturd suggested I do a 9/11 doc. I mean, a very heavy agenda in a general sense is my 9/11 doc. Anybody who's watched that movie knows, and who's dabbled with 9/11 stuff before knows that that's the thread throughout the whole movie, not just 9/11, but 9/11 truth. These neocons didn't just predict 9/11, they clearly had something to do with it. I don't know exactly how, I don't know at what levels, I don't know the intricacies, but it's obvious. It's obvious they probably had something to do with the anthrax attacks as well. So, I think that's thematically strong enough in that movie. Yeah, Solar, I mean, that was kind of the purpose of it. I wanted a very heavy agenda to be able to be very compatible with people who are coming from a 9/11 truth perspective, and then also maybe even slowly open the minds of people who are completely resistant to it. I think that the anthrax attacks alone helped actually do that for some people, the way that was covered in that movie, especially part 3. K Sway Wood Wood. He's challenging me. Carl Knight says, wait a second, didn't you and your friend from high school pose as reporters before? Yes, we did, but my friend was always the one who was in the lead role. I was sort of always the stringer. I was either the cameraman or the person who wouldn't say very much, and which is also sort of a fun role because I would be sort of this outside observer and basically a con. And I could stay in character enough to do that, but most of the time it was my friend who would take the lead. He's the one who would always wear a suit. In fact, actually one time, I'll just tell you a really quick story. We didn't sneak behind. We got invited into the id Software Activision booth because we had a Fox News press pass at E3. We managed to follow Trent Reznor in there, And he was not pleased because we had already run into him outside and acted like total fanboys. And all of a sudden he sees us inside of his like green room, basically. And we could tell he didn't want us to talk to him at all. He looked pissed that we were even there. So Ben's like, why don't we interview the CEO of Activision? And I was like, why? And he's like, because he's on here. He's on our schedule. So evidently my friend just responded to all these people doing press inquiries and set up all these random interviews with the idea in mind of just not doing any of them and being like, fuck this shit, and just like doing ones if we'd feel like them, just to like troll people. So I'm sitting there in a room, a tiny room, with the CEO of Activision, and I'm holding like a handheld camcorder. And it looks clearly not like a professional news camera of any kind. So I start pretending to film the interview. And halfway through the interview, I thought it would be funny if I stopped the camera and, pretended like we were having technical difficulties and made some sort of weird scene in the room. But what happened was, after I did this, I thought that the CEO was going to call me out on my camera being off because I realized it had a really obvious light on the front that wasn't on anymore to show that it was recording. And I thought that he was going to call me out. So for some reason, as I'm holding this camera while my friend is fake interviewing the CEO of Activision, I start to actually have a panic attack. And because I'm sure that he sees my camera is not on. So I'm starting to panic, and I'm like sweating and just like really having a hard time. And then after the interview, my friend's like, what happened in there? And I told him, and he's like, dude, you should have just like totally made a scene. He's like, that would have been hilarious. And I couldn't do it. I just totally had a panic attack, like even before even like launching the stunt. It was pretty intense. So I'm not built for that. My friend is, though, for sure. David, no, I don't think so. That was a different era for him. I even tried to send him the Masonic podcast recently, and he said it made him so nervous to listen to us talking about us doing that stuff that he couldn't even finish listening to the stories part where I was retelling the stories about him and me sneaking into Masonic lodges. So fortunately, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But I guess I'll just leave you guys with a funny anecdote. And this is actually someone who's got a fairly prominent account on Twitter, but I won't say who they are because I thought it was an embarrassing and honestly just bizarre interaction that I had with this person. They're one of the anon accounts on Twitter, like the anonymous accounts. I think they have somewhere over around 40,000 or more followers. So I posted my Masonic episode on Twitter when it unlocked, maybe like a couple weeks ago. I unlocked it for people, not just Patreon subscribers. And when I did that, I got a response from this really big, fairly big anon account that said, hey, how come you didn't reveal your source in your podcast? And I said, what do you mean, my source? And he said, the person that you snuck into the Masonic lodges with. How come you didn't reveal your source? They're an anonymous source. So I responded to him and I said, oh, it's not an anonymous. It's not like I'm using an anonymous source. This is a friend of mine who I made an agreement with not to mention his name on the podcast. Out of respect for him, he asked me not to talk about the beheading thing while mentioning his name. He doesn't mind if I talk about it. He doesn't mind if I talk about all the crazy shit he used to do, as long as I don't mention his name, because he lost a job a long time ago over one of the stunts that we pulled, which was a beheading hoax. I completely understand his point of view. Now, this person evidently did not take this as a good enough reason not to reveal my friend's name. So it continued. And they said, "You're supposed to be an independent, truth-telling journalist, not MSM. Why do you use anonymous sources?" And I was just like, oh, this person must be joking. That they can't possibly be serious. I made it very clear in the podcast it was a first-hand experience of mine with a friend. Not I'm using a story from a source of someone I don't know and retelling on the podcast. But even still, it was a strange thing. So I DM'd the guy and I was like, I don't know if you fully understand, and I think maybe you were joking, but just so you understand, my friend, my really good friend, doesn't want his name mentioned in the podcast. He's not a source of the story. He was with me when we did all these things together. So he's not a source that I was using a story from. And he said, you shouldn't be using anonymous sources, was his just response to me re-explaining everything. And I was just like, whoa. Okay, so you weren't joking, but I'm baffled. How do you think this is the same as using an anonymous source? And then I additionally asked him, and also, do you think that all journalism that uses an anonymous source is bad, is inherently bad? And so, oh no, I'm not even talking about the irony. I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous in and of itself that this guy is already an anon social media influencer. He's anonymous. So to come at me with this was weird in the first place, but the way that he did it was even weirder, because he was like, the mainstream media uses anonymous sources and you shouldn't. So I was like, every journalist uses anonymous sources. A lot of them do, who release like really important shit. There's a lot of people who will not go on the record. Like, are you not aware of that? And his attitude was just sort of that only good no good journalism, it's all propaganda if a piece of journalism uses an anonymous source. And I was just like, this guy has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. Like, to think that there are people like influencers in the political scene who have accounts with like 50,000 followers who would come after somebody for something that is like so bizarrely off base and nonsensical, and then like completely misconstrue the difference between why using like anonymous government sources is bad and why like some of the best journalism ever done in history is done with anonymous sources. Like, anonymous sources in and of themselves, the concept is not an inherently bad concept. So that was odd that he would just so dumb about that. But then to not understand that this was an experience that I had. It's not me using an anonymous source. My friend asked me not to mention his name out of respect for him and his employment. But it was still my story. It was just such a bizarre interchange that I had with this person that I just felt like I had to share it, because it just makes me worry that so many people operate around in this scene with just having absolutely no idea what they're fucking talking about. And are just like super dumb and just like it's just concerning, you know? And the guy was like mad about it. That was what was so absolutely so strange about it. I just assumed that he misunderstood, and if I explained to him really simply, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's totally understandable." Instead, he kept doubling down and getting like more upset as I was explaining this to him, and I was just like, "What in the hell is going on?" Let's see if I could. But try to do one more match. Oh, wow. Cool. I think this guy's offline, though. I would presume he's not. I didn't respond to him very fast. So maybe I'll just play for a bit. Oh, there he is. Cool. Okay. And he's in the U.S. also, so. Oh, he didn't do random select. Oh, that's not good for him. Is this guy really going to spam me this? Oh my god, okay, this is an interesting... This guy just spamming the same special move. I wasn't prepared for that type of Mortal Kombat. I guess your strategy didn't work out there, buddy. Alright. I'll show you mine. I'll show you my strategy. This is pretty sad, actually. I feel bad playing someone who's this terrible. It's almost like I'm gonna get a flawless on this idiot. Jesus Christ, I destroyed them. Damn. I feel bad. Oh my god, he's doing Melina again. This is actually sad. Like, my heart is a little bit broken right now. Holy shit, dude. Oh, wait, no, wait. Wait, what? I thought he did Raiden. No, I thought I did Raiden. I'm just totally disoriented right now. My heart did break for a second, though. I thought he picked Melina again, because I just thought he only knew the one character, which would be hilarious. Oh, I wanted that flawless. I wanted that flawless. I can smoke a joint while playing this guy. Oh. Sad. Let's try this guy in Brazil. This guy's got a good connection here. He accepts the challenge. Okay, let's try it. You could tell he's in America, says Soul Man. Why? Because of the flag or because he sucks? God damn it, dude. Oh, this guy either has a lot of lag or he's bad. I can't tell yet. I'm dying too. Jesus, he's already beating me. I'm not doing very good. I'm not doing very good. All right. Oh! I talked shit and I fucking got my ass kicked. Okay. Let's do this again. Do this again. Ah! This guy started off shitty. Now he's doing pretty good. Ah, fuck, dude. Shit. Oh my god. Okay. I have to get to some dinner duties in a second, so I will. This might be my last round if I win or lose. Oh, motherfucker. The sweep. Ah, you got me. Well, that was a lot of fun, guys. I think I'm gonna call that a wrap for episode 100 of MAME Politics for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this fun little session. Let's do it again soon. I don't know when the episode with Abby's gonna be, but we are definitely gonna do it soon. So it's probably going to be either Christmas Eve or maybe even the day after, possibly the day after. So I'll let everybody know when that's going to be, or I'll try to let everybody know. It might be kind of spur of the moment though, so just stay tuned. Make sure you hit the notification on this YouTube channel, notification bell, whatever the fuck they call it. And everybody have a good night. And yeah, it's pretty cool to reach episode 100 and be able to play my favorite game. And really appreciate all you guys. And it's a lot of fun to chat with you in here. Take care.